Hello and welcome to BBC News with Charlie Hatchell, live from Saltash. On today's news, Andy Burnham becomes Prime Minister, promising a 10-year plan for the country. Mr. Burnham became Prime Minister after Keir Starmer resigned, saying, "My work is done," after 2 years in number 10. We will also be talking about Spain's victory in the World Cup 2026 last night, with Argentina's disgusting way out. And I'll be bringing you the weather all across the UK and England, mainly England, and there's another heat wave on the way, so stay tuned for that. Welcome to BBC News. Your first headline. Andy Burnham has become the UK's new Prime Minister after Keir Starmer's resignation. Mr. Burnham comes into power claiming to have a decade-long plan to change the UK and hinting at cuts to personal taxes. In his final appearance in Downing Street, Keir Starmer said, "My work is done," and he was leaving the country stronger and fairer than when he took office just 2 years ago. Mr. Burnham enters office promising a 10-year plan for the country, as I think that's what it needs to address some of the fundamental issues holding the UK back. But he added, "I'm not saying that means I'm setting out to say I'm going to be here for 10 years. It's more that we're not in the right place structurally." In his first Downing Street speech, he will promise to give people breathing room against the rising cost of living. He will urge the country to be honest about the challenges it faces and will call for reflection and resolution. He will also say he is acutely conscious that the UK has had several prime ministers in a little over 10 years, stressing the need for more stable and responsible politics and pledging to restore faith in government. In an attempt to address critics' claims that he will hike taxes, Mr. Burnham focused on concerns about a tax-free personal allowance. Mr. Burnham told The Times that frustration about the 5-year-long freeze in the £12,570 limit on how much can be earned before paying income tax had lodged in my mind during his campaign to win the Makerfield by-election. He said, "They're just characterising me as a tax raiser." Well, again, it's never that simplistic, is it? Mr. Burnham became Prime Minister after kissing hands with the King, the private ceremony by which he accepts the invitation to form a government. The carefully choreographed handover of power came after Sir Keir Starmer had his own audience with Charles to resign formally. Before heading to the palace, Sir Keir said, "My work is done and I go with a smile," in his final speech in front of his wife, Lady Victoria Starmer, colleagues and friends in Downing Street, including the cat. His final exit from number 10 Downing Street was quieter than when he announced he would be resigning, as a Metropolitan Police ban prevented protesters, including anti-Brexit campaigner Steve Bray, from playing loud music outside Downing Street to drown out his words. Sir Keir Starmer said, "I go with a good grace, I go with a smile, and I go proud of everything that we have achieved." After a brief audience with the King, Buckingham Palace announced Sir Keir had tendered his resignation, which Charles was graciously pleased to accept. Now, with our new Prime Minister in the line, Andy Burnham, we can expect some change with tax, bus prices for children, and education. Now, if you stayed up to watch the football last night, you will have seen the victory for Spain in the World Cup. Spain beat Argentina to win the World Cup. Now, describing a result as a victory for football might seem like a trite cliche, but you won't find many neutrals disagreeing with that description of Spain's win in the 2026 World Cup final last night. When Ferran Torres slammed in extra time winner and Rodri lifted the trophy high in New Jersey, it is hard to imagine many will have had sympathy for Argentina. Spain triumphed in the battle of endurance for players and spectators to beat the Argentines and win their second Men's World Cup in as little as 4 years. On every football metric, and some would say morality too, this was the right result. The former England captain Alan Shearer said on BBC One, "There's no doubt that the right team won. From start to finish, Spain controlled possession. They were the ones looking to play football, create chances, and get in behind. This is a result for football because of the way that they've played. Spain deserve it." Spain had 65% possession and expected goals tally of 1.94 and 20 shots on goal, 11 on target. At the other end, goalkeeper Unai Simon kept his 7th clean sheet in 8 matches as he won the Golden Glove for the tournament's best goalkeeper. Spain conceded just 1 goal at the 2026 World Cup, the fewest conceded by any winning team. Spain are, even in the hard-to-quantify world of international football, clearly the preeminent side in the world. They are world, Olympic, and European champions, not to mention women's world champions too. The men are now unbeaten in their past 38 matches in all competitions, the longest run by any European team in history. They stumbled out of the gates in this World Cup with 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, meaning that on both occasions Spain have won the world title. They have failed to win the opener after a 1-0 loss to Switzerland in 2010. There have only been 3 instances on record of a player completing 100 or more passes in a World Cup final. 2 of those were Spain players on Sunday, Rodri with 101 and Paul Kubazi with 121. And for many of the squad, this might just be the start. Kubazi, not 19 years old, was named Young Player of the Tournament, while it seems very likely his Barcelona teammate, Lamine Yamal, had his best years ahead. At 19 years and 6 days, Lamine Yamal became the 3rd youngest player to play in a World Cup final, after Peel in 1958 and Giuseppe Borgomi in 1982. He is now the 3rd youngest winner. However, Argentina are so often painted as the pantomime villains of international football, particularly by England fans. As they did in the semi-final against the Three Lions, they appeared in the first half to be more interested in stopping any semblance of football occurring than playing the games themselves. Leandro Paredes was a spoiler-in-chief, with Enzo Fernandez his deputy. Though 4 Argentina players were booked, many will feel that adds further to the theory they have had lenient treatment from officials at this tournament. Argentina made a total of 464 passes compared to Spain's 852. But unlike England, Spain did not wilt in the second half. Had they won this game long before Torres' 106th minute strike, there could have been a few complaints. Argentina's Emiliano Martinez had to make 11 saves, the most by any goalkeeper on record in a World Cup final. At the other end, meanwhile, the defending champions became the first team in World Cup history not to have a shot in 90 minutes of a final. Their first attempt came via Lionel Messi in the 117th minute. Argentina lost their crown, and the scenes that followed the final whistle led many to feel they had lost their dignity too. However, Fernandez was first shown a yellow card for dissent, then a second for a spectacularly late challenge that sent Kubasi somersaulting. After a full-time whistle, Paredes was involved in scraps with Rodri, Gavi, and Borja Iglesias, and teammate Nahuel Molina was seen throwing a punch at a passing Spain player too. Embarrassing. BBC pundit Wayne Rooney said, "Embarrassing seeing that sort of stuff after a game has been played. Someone has been crowned World Cup champions. It's not good enough." Paredes is better than that. It doesn't stop there. He keeps going and going and going on. Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni attempted to defend his side's performance through floods of tears at his post-match media conference, but could only admit the best team had won. He said, "Even though they were outplaying us until the 85th minute, I would love to know what will have happened after we still had 11 men on the pitch, he said of Thunder's dismissal. We managed to go all the way to the end when the match was so open and it just couldn't be. They deserved the victory. That is the reality. We managed to go. Argentina might have taken the World Cup final to extra time, the fifth of the past six to go that far, but that could not mask their inferiority. Argentina can have absolutely no complaints about what happened. Former England goalkeeper Joe Hart told BBC One, disgusting behaviour. I don't think Roger needed to get in their faces, but you understand that after 120 minutes where you have been wound up and you thought you've been wronged and the referee has been on your back. Now, for the weather in your area, let's have a look. This afternoon will be mostly dry with variable cloud and sunny spells. Some drizzle may linger in the far north, cloudy in Northern Ireland and northern Scotland, warm in the south. Tonight will be mostly cloudy in northern Scotland and Northern Ireland, with some sorts of drizzle. Patchy cloud in the far southeast may bring a few light showers, dry and mostly clear elsewhere. Tomorrow we'll see such sunny spells, followed by areas of cloud building up more widely, but breaking up for many later on. Patches of light rain will move into the far north, however. Wednesday we'll see a combination of patchy cloud and sunny spells, along with the odd isolated shower, staying mostly sunny in the southwest. Thursday will be mostly cloudy for a time, but easing later with sunny spells appearing. Friday will be cloudy in Scotland with spells of drizzle in the northwest, dry with sunny spells elsewhere. Okay. Thank you for joining. Have a nice night. Have a nice day. Bye.